Good morning. It's 7:03 on this Thursday, May 21st. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Hello, everybody. We welcome you on a Thursday morning. At least it's not raining. It's cloudy and overcast, but we're going to have a tremendous Thursday and made even better by the fact that we're on the air for Bates Forward, 1673 West Main and 11. And Paul and Ronnie are here this morning, and we welcome you again. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, Ronnie Kelly in sales for 32 years. Paul Tubbs, a dealer operations manager for 22 or more and going. And, of course, they're the dealer that'll trade for anything that don't eat. We don't ever want to forget that.
No, Tony'd kill us if we forgot that. That's his pride and joy.
That has become such a catchphrase, such a trademark even, or whatever, have such an identification.
You know, it's kind of funny. It kind of flowed, and he did that when the times got tough back towards 08 recession, and he thought out of the box, and he's pretty smart at stuff like that. But I was in Gulf Shores, Alabama with my kids on a go-kart ride, and I had on a Bates Ford shirt, and I had a guy come up to me and go, "Hey, you're the dealer that'll trade for anything that don't eat." So it works.
And Ronnie, it's worked for you too, I'm sure.
Yes, it worked in many ways, but some of the English teachers didn't like the way it was.
I can understand that, but with the way that we get by with slaughtering the King's English anymore, that's not near as bad as some other things I've heard.
Yeah, he used to have a professor at MTSU that used to mail us letters. She wasn't real happy with our English, so we hadn't got one in a few years. So
we always on Thursday morning try to remind you that you can get your oil changed at Bates Ford for only $24.95.
Still sticking with the $24.95.
And that's cheapest in town.
That is, and
cheapest in Middle Tennessee.
Yeah, and we do the inspection. We'll check your brakes, your batteries, your hoses. Give you a test your battery, and give you an inspection report before you leave. So we're just not slapping oil and filter on. We're making sure that we do a thorough inspection and making sure everything's roadworthy for if somebody's going on vacation. They've kind of freed things up, thank goodness, but. Our foot traffic at Bates is picked up, and I think people are kind of getting antsy, wanting to get out. So, come down. We'll surely take care of you.
Well, I know you will, and probably for a lot of people, they may have put off that oil change even.
Right, and if you got stuff planned, or you hadn't been out as much, you want to get your car checked out. We'll certainly look it over and make sure everything's good to go.
And even if you don't buy a new car, used car, you can buy some new tires.
You can. We've got tire rebates going right now. With the Ford service card, you can get up to $140 rebate. Buy a set of tires. We always give you lifetime rotation if you buy tires from us. So, we have some excellent deals, and Ford will meet or beat anybody's price on any tires.
All right, you heard it right here, and you can hold them to the fire.
That's it.
Well, Roddy, I know you want to talk about some good car deals.
Yes, sir.
You've been doing this for so long. Selling cars has really been your livelihood, your occupation for all these years. Made a lot of friends, and you're still going strong, I think.
Yes, sir. Still going strong, and we still have a lot of great deals going on right now. We do have 0% for 84 months, and also you can defer your payment up to 6 months. And we have a lot of great used cars right now. And the good thing about our used cars, Paul will take them in and check them out, and they are A1 used cars. And when the people come in, we have them ready to go. And right now, we got a lot of people that's coming in, and we've been having some great days here. The last couple of weeks have been great for sales, and our sales staff are doing a great job of working with people. Now, sometimes, people don't like to come out right now when all this is going on, but we do go and pick up a car. Like if we have somebody that need a car, we go pick it up. We do a credit cap online, and once we do the credit cap online, we'll go and look at it. The other day, I done one out of Clarksville, and done a credit cap online, and they came in on Tuesday night, 6 o'clock, picked everything up, got everything squared away. Never saw the people until they came in, and we talked with them on the phone a few times. So, and we shipping a lot of cars out also. This is in this time that's going on right now. We had to do a lot of things to make business work. So right now, we give Paul credit for opening up the dealership and letting us do certain things. Especially, I remember one time I had a few customers that I said, I need to go pick up their car and get oil change. He said, go ahead, get it. So he opened that up, and that helped us a lot, And so, and all our sales staff is working with our customers, and we got some young guy that just came on sales staff, and they're doing a great job. and Mr. Bakes is always trying to take care of us. And
Do you have time to mentor any of these that come along, or are you real busy yourself?
well, I get busy, but a lot of times they ask questions, and that's what I like about our sales staff. Each and every person on our sales staff will help our new people to come in, and we're just like one big family. If one guy's gone, the other one take care of the other. So we're doing great with that.
We hear this family thing a lot, but I think it's true.
Oh yeah, Mr. Bates, it starts at the top. I mean, that's the way that he feels about, we want to make sure that we have an atmosphere, not only for our, we take care of, like I said, through all this, we want to make sure we take care of our employees, first, and our customers. But, when you come into our dealership, it's a very close-knit group of people. When you've got 10, 15 people that's been there 20 plus years, and, we do have a few come in and out, but most, we've got a lot of people that's been together for a long time. And as you see, you must get along if you're together that long. So, and it starts at the top with Tony.
Well, yeah, I'm sure Ronnie tries to sell an extra car now and then just so you'll have a little extra money for golf.
Yeah, I told somebody the coronavirus is going to kill me because the only thing I do every day is I go to work and then I go play golf every day because the country clubs have been open. I'm ready for some baseball for my kids. That's what I'm really.
Well, it's good to have y'all each Thursday. And remember, Bates Ford, 1673 West Main, the dealer to trade for anything that don't eat. Paul Tubbs, the dealer operations manager. Ronnie Kelly in sales. And you can get your oil change for $24.95 plus tax for up to 5 quarts. Buy your tires, new or used cars. It's all right there in one place.
Come see us.
All right. See you next Thursday.
All right.
We are 10 minutes after the hour, and this is the Thursday of the month that Jeff Baines from the city of Lebanon either comes out or sends me a guest or guests. And today is like most of the time when he doesn't come, but he sends somebody. And most of the time, he sends me an email the day before to tell me who to expect, which is nice as well. We have this morning, and I'm going to go, I usually go ladies first, but I'm going to introduce Paul Corder first this morning. Paul is the city planning director. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine. Been a while. How are you?
I'm doing great.
All right. It's been a while since you've been on, now, so that's why you get introduced first this morning. We have Sarah Hastings with us this morning, and Sarah, good morning to you.
Good morning.
You're not a regular here.
Not yet.
You have been here many times. You even guest hosted for me once, and I guess we'll let you do it again one of these days. Are you okay?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Well, you're sounding good. Actually, you look really good this morning.
Well, thank you.
That got me an extra point or two.
Yeah.
Right, Paul?
That's right.
Well, I don't know exactly when I don't get here early, and Paul was waiting for me this morning, and I walked in. I said, you can see I don't get here early. That's why the show is live, spontaneous, and unrehearsed. And we don't do a lot of rehearsing, that's for sure. But being the city planner, one of the things that I thought I might ask you is, I know from what Mayor Bernie Ash has told us from time to time, what Sarah said and some others, there are a lot of people have been working from home, and I suppose that could fit you. Have you been working from home a lot lately?
Yeah, we have been. We've been really working hard to keep the city moving forward. We're in a unique situation here in Middle Tennessee because we've had the tornadoes come through and all the damage to 102 commercial buildings. So we want to keep those people up and running. So we've been working to get permits and planning commission meetings to continue on. But at the same time, the coronavirus is telling us to slow down and keep our distance. So we've been really juggling that. And one aspect of that is we're trying to finish up our comprehensive plan for the whole city and trying to get public comment as much as we can for that plan. We are in the open comment period right now for that, and so we've got it up on our website, Forward 2040. If you search that on our website, Forward 2040, there's going to be a comprehensive plan. It's a draft. We're going to make sure that we're going in the right direction before we get the final draft, and there's a land use plan, and those are the big items that we would really like everybody to comment on.
How important, and I think that the answer is pretty obvious, but how important is doing something like this, planning ahead, and getting a lot of input as opposed to just going out here and doing something?
Yeah, I think this part of it's really important. We always hear people come to rezonings and question why things are being rezoned. Well, the comprehensive plan is where the citizens of the city get to give us input, and the planning commission has to use the future land use plan to make decisions about zoning. So if you don't like the way something's on the future land use plan, this is your time to speak so that we can tell developers, no, you can't do that here, or yes, you can do this here when they come to rezone. It needs to be based on the future land use plan.
Sarah, you, as working in development and all that you do, you greatly involved in this as well?
Yeah, I've been trying to help Paul the best that I can in the planning department and make sure that economic development plays a role with the comprehensive plan. I've been in this position now 4 years, excuse me, and prior to that it was vacant for 7. So getting that thought process and that part of it just included in it, I think is important today. And just really trying to support the planning department with communication. And I've been lucky he's let me be a part of the team from the beginning. He even had me as part of the committee that picked which consultant team we use to help drive this project. And I find it fascinating, and I think a lot of people do. And it's a different perspective to look at the growth of the city, one, to have that plan, but also, like Paul was saying, the community engagement so that the community is a part of this project and it's not just written by an outside consultant team or by the staff. It's a very holistic approach to what the community wants for their community.
We're about to go to a break, but has the fact we've gone through the tornado damage and the coronavirus episode here for 2 months, has that slowed you down or changed any of this really?
Well, it has slowed us down a little bit. I mean, but we have been trying to push through. In some ways, working from home, you get more done. In some ways, you don't. So, obviously, when it comes to interaction with the citizens, it's harder to do.
Yeah.
Fortunately, we've already done the surveys and we've gotten a lot of public input. So now we've got the final challenge of getting the input for this last little push.
Okay, we'll go to a break. We'll come back. Can we maybe get a few ideas, some details of your plan at this point? Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, a break here, and this is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:16. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank our friends at Absolute Kubota and Rental. Large inventory of Exmark mowers for homeowners and commercial users. #1 selling brand. Bought 2-to-1 over any other commercial mower brand. Absolute Kubota and Rental. 1325 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Traffic starting to pick up quite a bit, actually, in the last few minutes out here. Coming down I-40 through Mount Juliet. Traffic's on the increase, also 65 through Madison. Wrapping up an accident, 500 block of Fessler's Lane. And traffic's on the increase, I-40 coming in from Dixon County up past 840. Dr. Byron Bush, the only Republican candidate for U.S. Senate with a proven record for fighting for conservative values and against corruption. Log on to bushforsenate.com. I'm Commander Chuck, your on-time traffic.
Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing has experienced new leadership and a new atmosphere. Same location in the heart of Lebanon, 731 Castle Heights Court on the Castle Heights campus. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing is providing 5-star clinical outcomes to short-term and long-term care residents. Call 615-444-4319 for a tour and to experience the new culture. Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing. Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us. If you just turned your radio our way, we thank you. Of course, you've been listening since 7 o'clock. That's even better, or even since 6. MJ would appreciate that, I'm sure. Paul Corder is here this morning. He's the City Planning Director. Sarah Hastings is here, Economic Development Director.
You got it.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And we are focusing in really on the comprehensive plan. Now, the areas that we're talking about here, there's certain areas of the city you're working on right now, right?
Yes, this comprehensive plan we focused on three areas: the square and the area around the square, so the downtown, but not just the square, but the downtown areas. So that's important to know that it's bigger than that. Also, West Main, out past Hartman, all the way out past really to Cairo Bend Road. That's a second focus area that we've been looking at. And then there's been some question about how we should develop 109 and the interstate. So we looked at those. So those are the areas that we are currently focusing on the comprehensive plan. But we've already done South Hartman. We did a study for that, and we've also done Sparta Pike. So total of 5 areas that we really dug into for this plan.
Well, one thing you were saying during the break here, because I'd ask about if things had slowed down, and really, from what you're telling me, and maybe even it surprised me, and you said you were a little surprised even that you really haven't slowed down much. It's been, of course, more by phone, and you haven't been able to deal with local people as much, perhaps. But you've still got developers, people who wanted to come in here. You've had people who have been talking about it for a while, and more are coming in. And y'all can express it better than me, but that's the gist I get of what you were saying there.
Yeah, we're excuse me. We're seeing a lot of permits. I keep calling down to Danny Rain, seeing if we're slowing down, because that's what we kind of expected to see. And he said, no, we're just as busy as ever. The only thing that's slowing down is the face-to-face contact, but we're really having a lot of online remote meetings with developers and people who have questions about what we need to do. Still available by phone. If you call the office, all our phones are forwarded to us, so you can still get a hold of us. Still email us. We're all responding.
Well, you've had the number of people from other states who
yes, it's a joke at my house because I'm on the phone all the time. But what I was saying is projects that we've had in the pipeline are still moving forward, and where they're at, and they're still going through the process. And then I've had so many new calls and new developers coming through, even people driving the area scouting the land. And they'll call me on the phone, and we're just walking through it on Google Maps, you know. Mm-hmm. But the opportunity to work remotely has brought in so much that I'm seeing it very different now. I've had days where I've been on the phone with people from North Carolina, San Diego, New York, Alabama, all at once, and that would have normally been probably a week because they would have flown in at different times. So I think it's really cool that things are still moving forward, but Middle Tennessee and Lebanon is still a hot spot. And from my perspective, if you're looking at moving your company or expanding your company in Middle Tennessee, I want Lebanon to be on your radar and to be considered for a place to develop.
All right. What are they? Is it just a varied thing that they're seeking? I mean, or everybody that's calling is not looking for the same thing, I take it?
No, it's a lot of commercial development, but when they're calling in the very beginning and scouting, you know, like they have their eye on a piece of land, they're looking for data points. So a good example of that is when you drive Hartman Drive to 231, that northern section, and you see that school being built. Mm-hmm. That's a huge data point. So they'll want to know what the capacity is of that school, because if it's 800, then that's 800 new families. Then you just get right around the corner and you have all the new homes with the D.R. Horton development. So they're adding those numbers and they're putting that together and they're saying, okay, and there's land there for sale and it's zone commercial. You got a new gas station that's coming up right there. Hey, this is a spot I want to look at. Let me get in touch with Sarah and get more data on that. And that's just a small piece to the puzzle of how you would end up with a commercial corner right there.
Okay. What you had mentioned you've already got your development pretty much done for Hartman Drive and Sparta Pike. Tell us what maybe the finished picture looks like there.
Yeah. The South Hartman Drive study was done, and this Tuesday we're going to be looking at the zoning overlay at the Planning Commission. They may adopt that. And when we heard from the public, there were certain areas that we knew were going to be tied to the interstate, and you're going to get interstate commercial. But we also heard a lot of people saying we wanted more trails, more walkable areas, more areas where we could can just transition from the neighborhoods we're already in and just enjoy those areas. So we're really focusing on the walkable areas and this overlay. The land use we're not really looking at. We're just looking at styles and designs and really getting a predictable product that can come in. Predictable results is what we're focusing on for the walkable areas. But
What about Sparta Pike?
Sparta Pike was an economic study, and there was a lot of things that came out of that. The connection between the Expo Center and downtown, and really trying to make that connection. Park Avenue, I think, can see a lot of improvement to make people want to feel like they should come downtown and benefit. We've got the fair and all the events out there that are great, and if we can tie that in with the rest of the city and just get more income out of that, I think that would be wonderful.
All right, and then you mentioned you're wanting input now for Highway 70 West, West Main, really all the way to Cairo Bend Road, which is all that in the city.
Yeah, all the way to 109 is in the city.
But in particular to Cairo Bend, which is this east of 109.
Well, we'll take comments from all over the city for
right.
anything anybody wants to talk about, but the downtown, West Main, and the 109 area, those three areas.
What ideas are you thinking about there?
Well, we've talked to a lot of people, and there's a lot of different ideas that come out. But one thing that we keep hearing is we need things to do in Lebanon. We need the economic development that Sarah works so hard on, and restaurants and the type of development that will bring those. But we also hear that we need to preserve our natural areas and have room for people to spread out and have families. But it works out really well. We looked at the natural areas. We looked at people's opinions. We looked at how the real estate sales are going, because sometimes that tells you more about what people are really willing to buy. And it really works out. The areas where there are fewer natural areas that we need to preserve is downtown. And that's where we want the development to grow, and we want the commercial to happen. And there's areas that are hilly and difficult to develop. And that seems to be where people want to be, in larger lots. And I think we can accommodate all of that. And we're trying to just not make a one-size-fit-all city, but one for everybody.
Well, you are asking for input, Sarah. You're not for a lack of ideas. I've never known you. You have your opinion about nearly everything too. So express a little bit of that for us here, will you?
Well, I think the way he summed it up is good. I think it's important to take into consideration the needs of the community. We hear it a lot, and we have them narrowed down in my world to about 4. We know we need retail development. We know we need entertainment development. We have a bowling alley, we have a movie theater. You go into a peer city of ours, and maybe they have a large arcade. You want places to eat, but you want places to eat where you can take your kids and have that entertainment. You also want adult where you can have a drink or a cocktail. So it's finding that mix, and then where you match it with planning is where it makes sense to go. And that's the same thing with industrial development, commercial development, and even, like a grocery store. You want to put the grocery store in town where the people are. You don't want to put it on the freeway on your way out. So having that makes sense, but aligning it with the needs and desires of your community is that piece of the puzzle. And for me, in my world, a lot of it is data, and I think his is too, in getting it matched. But I think our challenge right now is with this coronavirus and keeping our distance. We need the people to be a part of this plan. We have to have those public comments.
Well, we haven't talked too much about the square here. Still, to me, the heart of Lebanon is that square there. That is Lebanon, Tennessee. Although we spread out a long ways, a number of miles, but to me, Lebanon, Tennessee is the square.
Well, and that's a great perspective. It's an interesting perspective because the city expands pretty much at every meeting. It gets bigger.
Yeah.
So the downtown core is a very important piece of our city. As well as small businesses throughout the city. And I think it's a good thing to tie the downtown area to assets like Cumberland University. We want to make sure that all of that area is walkable and that people can get down there and explore, and that it is a
Have here, how can people express their thoughts, their desires, their opinions to y'all?
Well, we do have it online, and we can share a link to the document online on our Facebook page. And then
You're not, well, I guess you're not going to have a meeting as such, or is one of those even planned?
There will be a public hearing on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday at the Planning Commission meeting. The very first thing, we are going to take comments on the future land use plan. So that's a very important part of the comprehensive plan. We're not going to vote on it then. We just want to provide that opportunity. We were going to have a meeting tonight. We had mentioned that in a couple of things, never advertised it, but we got bumped by the city council. So I just want to make everybody aware that tonight's event's not going to happen. But Tuesday night, we will take comments at 5 o'clock at the Planning Commission, and you can call into that.
Okay. And where's the Planning Commission meet? Or do you have a... How are you going to meet?
Right, we have to do it remotely.
Okay.
But we do have a way we're using Zoom so people can just use their phone to call in, and if they want to do that, they can contact me, Paul Corder, at LebanonTN.org, and contact me or anybody in my staff, and we can let them know how to do that.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you both. We have come to the end of our time here, but Paul Corder, our city planning director, Sarah Haston, the city economic development director, have been with us this morning. Good input here from both of you. We appreciate it, and we'll see you again. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
That's part one of Coleman and Company. Please keep it here for more. FM 98.9.
All right, it's now 7:31. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Bates Ford and the lifetime brake pad guarantee. With the purchase of a brake service, replacement brake pads will be provided at no cost for as long as the customer owns the vehicle. Bates Ford, 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Traffic starting to pick up quite a bit, actually, in the last few minutes out here. Coming down I-40 through Mount Juliet. Traffic's on the increase, also 65 through Madison. Wrapping up an accident, 500 block of Fessler's Lane. And traffic's on the increase, I-40 coming in from Dixon County past 840. Dr. Byron Bush, the only Republican candidate for U.S. Senate with a proven record for fighting for conservative values and against corruption. Log on to bushforsenate.com. I'm Commander Chuck, your on-time traffic.
71 degrees all the way.
73 degrees, please.
So what's your perfect degree of comfort? We'll help you find it with professional Rheem HVAC service that'll keep your home comfy year-round, save on energy costs, and may qualify for utility rebates and tax credits. So enjoy a new degree of comfort.
72 degrees, and I'm good to go.
Financing available through TVA's Energy Right program and your local power company. Call Randy's Heat and Air 237-3604.
It's all about taking care of you, and THW Insurance will do just that. Are you looking for home or auto insurance? THW represents Westfield Insurance and other fine companies. Together, they will protect you and your family. Call Joe Bumgartle at the Donaldson location at 615-232-5928. That's 615-232-5928. Or stop in and see him at 217 Donaldson Pike in Nashville.
Caring for a loved one is as natural as the weather. But just like the weather, one moment it's sunny and the next you find yourself in the middle of a storm. So when it came time to take care of my dad, I knew I needed help. A reprieve from the storm, so to speak. That's when I found the Pavilion Senior Living. They have expertise and experience to weather the storms in your loved one's life. And now I can rest easy. Thank you, Pavilion Senior Living. You should visit thepavilionseniorliving.com to find out more.
Today's forecast calls for partly cloudy skies with a chance of a few pop-up showers. Highs today will top out in the mid-70s. By Friday, temperatures will back up into the low 80s. On Friday, we'll have a mix of sun and clouds with hit-or-miss showers. We keep those pop-up showers through the weekend as well. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty. Professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. That's a look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist TJ Scott.
Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us. Welcome to part 2. It's a Thursday. Time to talk to Heather Sadler, who's the marketing director for the Pavilion Senior Living here in Lebanon. Heather, good morning.
Good morning.
And I want to know how you're doing.
We are doing well.
And how are things at the
Pavilion?
How are things at the Pavilion?
They're doing great. A little lonely these days, but they're doing great. We are still COVID free, so that's always good news to know and hear. And we're in the process of working with the state to test every resident and every employee. We're just waiting for the state to call up our number, and that's the next big thing that we have to contend with. But last Friday we actually had a parade where all of our residents, both from our assisted living and our rehab and long-term care, spread out 6 feet apart, and I'm telling you, our family showed up and showed out for sure. We had probably over 75 cars come through.
Really?
And some of them circled through two times so they could see their loved ones. So, because you have to realize, I mean, it's been, over 55 days, and they haven't seen them, except there may be a window or, a virtual call. So it was a beautiful day last Friday, so we got to do that.
Well, This had to be a tremendous thing for your residents there, but I would think it would almost be equally as beneficial for family members to come and wave and say hello as well.
Well, I'll be honest, I was a little nervous when I was sending out emails thinking, oh, we may get, 10 calls. I mean, I was really nervous because it was at 3 o'clock on a Friday, and I'm telling you, I pulled up to park my car, and they were parked up all the way down. We started off of, we're on Medical Center, so they lined up right across the street. I'm trying to think the name of that street. And it went double all the way down. I just couldn't believe it. We had people with trailers and music systems and balloons and banners, and I mean, it was, of course, they couldn't get out of their cars, and everybody respected the rules and the distancing. It was an amazing day. Truly it was.
Well, it's
Facebook Live it, so if you're interested to go back and see it, you can hear some commentary from me and Victoria. So it was a really fun day.
Well, I'm glad it worked out well for you, and I just feel everybody most likely felt a little bit better, appreciate each other more, and y'all for being able to do something like this and do it so well.
It was so much fun. So
What else you got for us
this
morning?
If this goes on longer, we may have to do it again.
Okay. What else you got?
Well, so everybody, we've had lots of calls to say, are you still admitting patients? We are. Like I said, we're into day 60 of this, and, we're, people's lives and needs still go on, and the need for assisted living and rehab and are still there. Now, it looks a little different on the admission, and it looks, we have to be very cautious on making sure we have COVID negative tests, and, we have to be very cautious about social distancing within our community. But luckily enough, we've got that figured out by now. So we're open for admissions, especially, some of our seniors that may not have been able to get out there in this, we got to take care of. If they were at home, their family may not have been able to get out. So, it's a whole different look of senior living for sure.
And if somebody needs respite care, either way there, you're working with them as well, I think.
That's right. So short term, if some of you are ready to go to the beach like myself, and you have a parent or grandparent that you're taking care of that you might think needs a little extra help while you're gone, we'll be glad to talk to you about just a short-term stay. We have a suite ready. So you just bring their clothes and them, and we get to love on them while you're at the beach, or, so I know a lot of people are ready to start doing those things. So that's when respite becomes important as well. But also if you're just in a situation where you need some rest, that's what respite's for.
Okay. Well, the best way to reach you by telephone, really.
It is 615-444-5556. And you can't remember that, just Google us, the Pavilion Senior Living, and it's .com. So, but you can go on Google and find us as well. So, give us a call and let us know. We'll talk you through anything we can. If we can't if we're not the answer, we'll help you find the answer. How's that?
I think that's great. Any other thing about any building or advancement or moving on that we have talked about in the past, or has that kind of been put on hold for the time?
I think that's been put on hold right now till we're still planning on it.
Yeah.
But of course, right now it's not the time to start building everything. So we've got the plans, and we're ready to move forward as soon as we feel like it's the smartest move to move forward. We also don't want to cause any issues for our residents during all this either.
There you go. Well, it's always good to have you with us. We appreciate your information this morning. And how about again next Thursday?
That sounds good. It's a date.
Right. Heather Sadler, she's the marketing director for the Pavilion Senior Living here in Lebanon at 1409 Medical Center Drive. You can call her at 615-444-5556. And with that, we're 21 before the hour, and we've got not one but two Chambers of Commerce people to introduce this morning. But this time, ladies first. Melanie Mentor, good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Coleman.
Welcome again.
Thank you. Always good to be here.
Are you okay?
I'm doing well, thank you.
You're doing well. That's good. And the chamber folks are all okay?
Chamber folks are all good.
We have Mark Hinesley here this morning from Mount Juliet. Good morning.
Good morning, Coleman. How are you?
I'm doing well, and it's nice to see you. You have been a guest host for me at least one day, I guess, for 10 years.
A long time.
And how long have you been at the chamber guru at Mount Juliet?
I believe this is my 22nd year.
Well, you must like it.
I love it every day.
I bet there's no 2 days just alike.
There hasn't been since March the 3rd. I know that.
Well, I guess I'd say it's a double pleasure for me this morning because it's not usual that we have two chamber presidents with us, but Melanie and Mark are both here today. And I'm not sure what all's going on, but that's what you're here to tell us. And I want to know as well as our listeners, I'm sure.
Well, we're glad to be here, and this is something I think that while we may be here for the first time together, second time together, we've been working on projects together, both in the public, behind the scenes, for years, pretty much since she hit the ground running, and it's been very beneficial for all of our members.
We have two different cities, but we have one county, so.
That's right.
We're on the same team.
That's right.
We're on the same team.
That's right.
So what is going on?
So we are here today to talk a little bit about the Blue Ribbon Initiative. This was an initiative that originally came up. Of course, Mayor Randall Hutto talked to Mark and I, and we had been on a call and were tossing around some different things that we could do as a county when the tornado hit, as Mark said, on March 3rd. It was a devastating time, and we got to see lots of business owners, small businesses, larger businesses. Really, our community turned upside down. Mm-hmm. And Mark and I went out. He went to Mount Juliet and Lebanon, and I went to Mount Juliet, and I'm in Lebanon. And so we just really went throughout the county to kind of look at what had happened to our county. And we saw some sad faces, and we saw some people that needed hugs, and then all of a sudden we couldn't hug anymore. Then came COVID-19. Then once that hit, then it became a really discouraging time for some of the businesses in our communities. So as Chamber of Commerce's, we are there for our businesses, and that simply is what it is. We value them as a member, and we want to treat them exactly like they would want to be treated. So with this Blue Ribbon Initiative, it came about for people to kind of take a look at Wilson County to say, hey, this is something that they are going to do for their community when the businesses start opening back up. So pretty quickly, we got declarations, and there were executive orders from Governor Bill Lee. And so we could kind of look at the timelines that we thought these things were going to happen. And as they happened and they opened up into phases, we got together as a group and said, hey, we think this would be a great idea to highlight our businesses, to say thank you for being around, thank you for trying to go by the Tennessee Pledge. We understand that this is a very important time. We had heard from hospital CEOs, everyone, the state, counties. And so this was a time where we thought we could bond together as a county and say, hey, we want to take you a blue ribbon as your stores begin to open. When that's going to be, at that time, we didn't know. It was about a month ago, I think, Mark.
At least, probably.
At least a month ago. Phases started changing. So now I'm going to get Mark to talk about this in just a little bit, because phases started changing pretty quickly. Things started changing. Ribbons had been ordered. Of course, they'd been ordered for almost 3 weeks now. And they are just supposed to arrive this week. So we will be handing them out next week. But I'm going to let Mark tell you a little bit about how we're going to handle the Blue Ribbon Initiative and what it really means to us as a chambers and what we believe it's going to mean to the members.
Okay, Mark.
Hey, do we have time to get into it real quick before a break?
Well, you are watching that clock, aren't you? Well, I tell you what, why don't we go ahead with the break here, because you're going to wax eloquent here, I'm sure, and I hope you will.
We'll do the best we can.
Okay. We do have Melanie Mentor and Mark Hinesley with us from the Lebanon Mount Juliet Chambers of Commerce, and we'll talk more after this break. Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And it's 7:44. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank Absolute Kubota and Rental Exmark. Large inventory of Exmark mowers for homeowners and commercial users. #1 selling brand, bought 2-to-1 over any other commercial mower brand. Absolute Kubota and Rental, 1325 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Traffic still holding up out here as far as really bad interstate accidents. Sure, we've seen a couple of problems out here, like this crash here at 13th and Broadway. Still wrapping up the paperwork. 500 like of Fessler's Lane on that earlier wreck. Watching traffic increase quite a bit actually down Ellington Parkway coming down from the north. Check out the premier luxury vacation cabins near Gatlinburg. Log on to CosbyCreekCabins.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Hey, this is Paul with Bates Ford, and with all the craziness going on in the community right now, Bates Ford is still here to serve you. We've got some great deals, oil change specials for $28.95 for up to 5 quarts. We will pick up and deliver your vehicle, whether it's for sales or service. On the sales end, we've got 0 interest for 72 months and 6 months deferred payment. So give us a call at Bates Ford, 615-444-8221. Bates Ford, the dealer that will trade for anything that don't eat.
Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us. And if you just turned our way, thank you very much. Melanie Mentor, the Lebanon, Wilson County Chamber of Commerce President and CEO, is with us this morning, along with Mark Hinesley. Mark, you have a similar title, or are you just president? Or
Yeah, I usually just get up and check with Melanie and see how Wilson County's going, and then we take it from there, Coleman. But yeah, that's these days CEO is really more chief encouragement officer, it seems like. So
thank you, Mark.
We need some encouragement right now, don't we?
Yeah, well, we are here. You're here to talk in depth, really, about the Blue Ribbon Initiative. And Melanie got us started, and we want to get you to pick up on it now and tell us more.
Well, we're all better off when our businesses are collecting sales tax and our residents and friends are employed and commerce is thriving. And as we know, that came to somewhat of a grinding halt in the middle of March. And after we kind of caught our breath, said 2 things really need to happen here as we get to opening back up. One, people are going to be a little bit skittish, and rightfully so. We've been bombarded with how easy it spreads, how just stay home, hunker down. Well, as we start to get out, we want to let folks know that there is a Tennessee pledge. These are CDC guidelines that the governor has said if we follow these guidelines, we can open up in phases. And as we got going, people want some sort of confidence when they walk into a place. And we understand not everybody feels this way. There are certainly too many opinions about the closing businesses in the first place. But when you put all that behind us and take the politics out of it, what we really want to do is give people an opportunity to feel a little bit safer, if that's how they want to feel, going into a business that is doing the very best they can. Mm-hmm. Simultaneously, we want to help the business promote themselves and, in a sense, put on display to the public that we're doing the very best we can. We've taken the Tennessee pledge. This is just a virtual thank you. We're not in the enforcement business. You don't get a black ribbon if you fail. They are saying to us, we are doing the Tennessee Pledge. We would like the ribbon. So we send an ambassador out with a ribbon and we take a picture. We let them display the ribbon so that people say, well, if we're going to go eat, maybe this is going to be a good option because they're trying to follow the rules as best they can. And also the business gets to perhaps attract a little bit more sales than they had. We don't know exactly how long this will last. We didn't even know exactly when this would start. And you can't lay out a plan when you don't even know which businesses are going to be open. And not everybody is, even though they could be open, they're not open. They have reduced hours. They have reduced menus. We don't know how well received this will be, but there's worry and concern. Worry gets you nowhere. And we cannot, as chambers, be in a position where we spend too much time worrying about something. We're solution-based. People expect results, and the chamber in any community, especially here in Wilson County, Becky in Watertown as well is with us on this. We can be kind of the North Star. People can rally around each other, and we're not making anything. We're not selling anything. We're just sort of the catalyst that drives commerce in Wilson County.
Yeah, it does sound like you are trying to be an encourager.
At the end of the day,
right.
That's probably right.
That's right.
We're and we have met with mixed opinions, and everybody's entitled to their opinion. We want to help those that want some help, and if somebody doesn't want it, that's fine. There are a lot of great businesses that will never let us know that they're doing it, and that's okay too.
One of the things that I guess hurts and distresses me, maybe more than anything else, is how many mom and pop operations we are told could go under at worst case scenario, and I've always felt like somebody puts their name on a shingle out over the place, whatever kind of business it is. You're sticking your neck out. You don't know whether you're going to make it even in the best of times. And when something like this comes along, it seems like people like that are some that bear the brunt of whatever comes along. And some of your bigger chains and people where there's a lot more money available from somewhere, they have a better chance to make it than our mom and pop operations. Do you share that?
Absolutely. And the mom and pop stores, there are some cases where those families, that's a third generation store. Think of the responsibility that must fall on that family who's risking 3 generations of their work. And, they're also the smaller businesses. Take a look at your Little League parks and your gymnasiums and your football fields and see who the sponsor signs are from and the banners in the outfield. Those are typically not, the nationwide companies, big chains and stuff. These are our friends, neighbors, people we go to school with, church with, and everything we can do to help them out during these times, I am sure is much appreciated because goodness knows we knock on their doors all year long. Will you sponsor this? Will you donate that? Yeah. Well, this is a great time for all of those folks to get out and support them to whatever degree you're comfortable. And we can hope that this gets behind us sooner rather than later.
I think it's not that we're against anybody, and we're not wanting the bigger ones not to make it, but it seems like the little mom and pop's the one who really need the help right now.
They do, and Mark and I both have had virtual meetings, certainly Zoom meetings. We've met with small businesses, we've met with restaurants, and when you really get to meet with them and to see the looks on their faces, because you can tell that it's been a really tough time for them, and it, like Mark said, it's our job to really help them through this. They believe in us, they trust in what we're doing, and so. This initiative is just a way that we can give them a happy face, and we can smile with them, and we can social distance with them if that's what we're still doing at the time. But it's just a way for us to help them get their name out, for people to know that they are open, that they are safe, and for people to please come and purchase or sit down in a restaurant. It's been somewhat controversial, actually, I know, in some of the stores because, it's mask or gloves and to be honest with you, there was a time where you couldn't get masks and you couldn't get gloves and people would buy them on Amazon and try to get them in and try to reopen and I just hand sanitizers. I mean, there's still things out there that are not in the grocery stores. So, the other day I saw someone Lysoling down, all over on the square. One of the girls that owns one of the stores over there. So everybody's really trying hard, and we do feel for those businesses, and we do want to just thank them for being a part, for doing the very best that they can during this time, and that's truly an effort that we can give to those people.
When you really get the ball rolling with this Blue Ribbon Initiative, how is it going to start, and who makes the first move?
Well,
I'll just very quickly, and we have an end result that we both want to achieve, but logistics, volunteers, just the geographical area we cover, we may or may not go about it exactly the same way. I'm not even sure that we'll go about it exactly on day 2 the same way we did on 1 because there's no playbook for it, and we're making it up as we go, to be honest with you. But I envision.
I've heard of playing it by ear.
I totally.
Every day's a new day.
Yeah.
And that's what we've learned at the chamber.
We feel like that if we let folks know what we're doing, and it's a voluntary thing, they can submit just a request. Hey, we're doing this. Here's our company name, contact. These are our office hours, our store hours. We collect those, and then we have collected. We've enlisted the help of ambassadors, a number of them. Geographically divided Mount Juliet up into 4 areas to make it convenient. Mm-hmm. And then we're just going to here's your ribbon ambassador, go do this. This is yours. This one's yours. We'll take a picture. We can promote them on social media. And hopefully folks will say, oh, well, maybe we'll drive over there. Mm-hmm. We think that'll work. Melanie asked me how many ribbons I wanted, and I didn't know whether I would need 5 or 1,000. So we can always order more ribbons, but we hope to start, I'm going to guess, shortly after Memorial Day. That's somewhat dictated by when the ribbons arrive. But we think we have a pretty good plan, and for those that can benefit from it, not everything we do benefits everyone, but we do a lot of different stuff for a lot of different people. So for those folks that this helps, we're glad to do it, and we feel a responsibility to do everything we can, and none of us want to say, wow, we coulda, shoulda, woulda done this. So
partly to answer your question as well, is we are going to send out a message that's somewhat similar. Of course, we have different members, but we have some that are the same members. So we want to make sure that the message is out, which is why we have been on different media types and newspaper and talk to you. So, but we'll send out a message to our members, and it will probably go out this week. We have sent it out, as Mark said, to some of our ambassadors and different other peoples throughout our membership. But there will be a plan in that message. The Tennessee Pledge will be in that message. And basically, we're going to say the same thing that we said today. If you want us to come to you, then we'll be happy to come to you. A form will be attached to whatever we send out, and that will be emailed back to us, or they can call us and give us the information so that we're really reaching out to those on their time. Honestly, if they don't know when they're going to be open or how they're opening, we want to make sure we're not just showing up. We want to value their time.
Well, let me ask this. Is this exclusively for members of each chamber, or is this?
No, sir.
No, all right. Anybody that would, whether they're a member or not, want to participate, then the ball's in their court. It's up to them to react, to let you know.
That's exactly right. All they have to do is contact us, and we will, like Mark says, we will be there with a smile and a blue ribbon for them.
Many years ago, Coleman, Betty Stevens, the former director, and this is a quarter of a century ago, she told me something very profound that I've never forgotten. And she said, in any community, every single business benefits from the Chamber of Commerce. Not all of them will pay membership dues, but they're just as involved and as engaged as our commerce as anybody else. So this is a great time to introduce some of the programs and services.
Right.
that we do.
We have 2 minutes left. I was just wondering. It seems like the coronavirus came in, and some of the aftermath of the tornado was forgotten. But do you still have some businesses that either one of you know of businesses that are still not able to be open because of damage from the tornado?
Well, yes, we've had several. We have several businesses that did not reopen. We also have had businesses that were displaced. Some of the industries out on Eastgate, of course, were displaced, and we moved those around. GC helped facilitate most of that. And then there were small businesses as well for us down 231, and they were actually one had about 6 or 7 businesses in it. Several of those were chamber members. That was totally destroyed. That's even gone now. Yeah. But they have opened up at different locations. Okay. So kind of a variety for us.
What about you, Mark?
The ones out in the Eastgate, Golden Bear Parkway, that was devastating, and you can still see clear through those buildings. We had a number of businesses right on North Mount Juliet Road, not in proximity to West Wilson Middle and Stoner Creek, that they were, for all intents and purposes, they've now been torn down and they're gone. Within about 2 weeks or less, all but one of them had been relocated. They're rebuilding. Commerce started happening, and just when we thought we had our arms around that, there was light at the end of the tunnel. Something hit us that none of us, perspective-wise, Butch Spearden at the CVB yesterday told our membership, he'd been through the Katrina, the oil spill, 9/11, floods, hurricanes, tornadoes, everything in his 25-year career. And he said, none of that, all of that combined is nothing compared to what he is seeing right now. So we are facing the unknown in some ways. It's scary, but I will suggest to you and all your listeners, when somebody says, how's it going? Tell them, well, I don't know, interest rates are at 2%, gas is only $1.50 a gallon, and we have 85.5% of our people are employed. So,
and we're bringing out blue ribbons.
That's right. So,
I do want to thank Action Restoration. They did sponsor our ribbons at the Lebanon-Wilson County Chamber of Commerce, so I did want to mention that, and I know that Mark mentioned Becky Dungy over at Watertown, who could not be with us today.
Okay. Well, thank you for being, Mark. Good to see you again.
Hey, it's good to be seen, and if you're out and about this weekend, this Memorial Day weekend, please keep in mind what that's for. And the Exchange Club, the veterans, will be doing the Flags of Honor again on North Mount Juliet Road, and